Welcome to our spooky slumber party.
Grab your favorite snack and get settled in for some spooky story time.
Welcome back, everybody. We are on to another spooky slumber party, and we are happy to say that Birdie has decided to come join us for yet another party by the fire pit. And actually, Birdie will be our special storyteller for tonight, so I'm very excited. Let's go ahead and go in
Ooh.
there and say hi. Hello, Birdie. Welcome back to the spooky slumber party.
Welcome back to our spooky little fire.
Did you have a good time last time?
I very much enjoyed all the talk about meat.
Oh yes, the meat. The meat. What did you call it? Space
that meat.
Or
That's sky meat.
The sky
That's
meat.
sky meat.
I love it. I love that. It's the best name. Sky meat. I thought it
Kentucky
was
sky meat.
clever with the holy meat,
Wait.
but no, the sky meat.
Hold on, wait. Sky meat. We can shorten that down to skeet.
The ski. Oh my god.
no.
No,
Oh,
not
no.
ski ski. And copyright.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
All
Tear
right.
in my eye.
So, what do you have for us for tonight's
Okay.
spooky slumber story?
So, most people have heard of Paul Bunyan, at least somewhat. Have either of you ever heard of Paul Bunyan?
I have.
I know he wears red flannel and has a big beard and has an axe, right? Or is it not?
Yes.
I
Yes,
don't
it
know
is an
anything
axe.
aside from
And an
description.
ox.
And the only reason I even
But
know
say,
what
I
he
know-
looks
I know
like is
vague.
because of Grand Theft Auto Online.
Valid, honestly. Valid.
Because they had that giant Paul Bunyan statue in the game, and that is the only thing I know about Paul Bunyan. So
Okay.
I am a newbie for sure on this Paul Bunyan story.
So, the story of Paul Bunyan has been told down from ear to ear, mouth to mouth, through multiple generations of loggers. It's been changed God knows how many times. However, Paul Bunyan is a giant, one of the only American giants that we know of, that existed sometime during the early 1800s.
Wait, he's real. He's not a fictional character. He's actually like real giant.
Kind of. It's
I'll
debated
just shut
on
up.
whether or not he's real.
I'll shut up. I'll shut up. It's fine. I
It's-
get
it's
to learn.
mythos, yeah.
I get to learn today. Okay. I'll shut up. I'll shut up.
So,
Sorry.
okay, so it's debated if he's real or not because there are men who are 7 to 8 feet tall who had gigantism back in the
Right.
day. And so the idea is that, maybe they were inspired by those guys and so on and so forth.
I mean, for me, I'm a firm believer in giants. I believe that giants existed. I believe they still exist to this day. And even the Bible mentions
Yeah.
giants. So even
Bible.
the religious people know about giants. So for me, I'm a firm believer that giants existed, and I do believe they still exist to this day.
Well, the story of Paul Bunyan's gone through many different iterations. However, the original story of Paul Bunyan was originally written by a man by the name of by a man of the name of Lockhead. Now, Lockhead wrote in his book about Paul Bunyan, and in his book, I'll give you a very quick way, like a very quick version of Paul Bunyan's story. Basically, Paul was a giant that grew up in America. He was born in Westwood, California. California native, let's go. And you see, the thing is, he was so tall that he would cut down redwood trees with a single swing of his axe.
Oh wow.
Now, of course, he's a logger, he logs by trade. So he cuts down redwoods, he cuts down firs, he cuts down all sorts of trees, right? Well,
Right.
it's said that Paul Bunyan had a job he was given a job away from California all the way in Wisconsin. And so he took his axe and drug it behind him as he was walking and made the Grand Canyon.
Oh shit.
And then he lifted his axe up and kept on walking.
Wait,
Now,
he's really, really, really big. I imagine giant to be like
yeah,
10 feet tall to like
no, he
20
was like
feet.
90 feet. Like he
Oh
was
my god.
huge.
So yeah, his axe
big boy.
is made the Grand Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So his axe dug
That's
out
cool,
the
I like
Grand
that.
Canyon.
I like this. Okay.
So while he's up in Wisconsin cutting down trees with his logging troop, they ended up having this winter that was so terrible that it was a winter of blue snow. Now, snow is normally white, but blue snow is typically even colder than white snow. Cold enough that it
Okay.
could freeze a man to death in
Ooh.
under 5 minutes.
Does it
So-
taste better than yellow snow?
I would have no clue. I would assume so, though.
But it depends on who you ask.
So Paul goes and walks into this blue snow, and he's walking through the snow because it's not really bothering him. He's really warm. It doesn't really bother him all that much. And he ends up finding an ox that's completely frozen. So he takes his axe, smashes the ice off the ox, and the ox comes back to life. Now, this ox remains the color blue for the rest of time. And
Okay.
Paul Bunyan decides he's going to name the ox Babe. So, Babe the big blue ox.
That's
I love
adorable.
that. The blue ox reminds me of the cow with the Milky Way teats.
Yeah.
So here's what ends up happening, right? So there are a few stories about Paul Bunyan where him and Babe do some really silly stuff. However, I have 2 stories in particular that I want to tell you.
Oh, I'm excited.
Okay.
So there was a time where Paul Bunyan was working with his crew, and he had hired this crew to help him clear out an entire forest because he doesn't want to do it by himself, right? And so he goes out, he's chopping down some trees. They pile these logs 200 feet high,
Oh wow.
right?
Mhm.
And when
That's a lot of wood.
the thing it
Chopping
is
some
at the very
wood.
so the
Chopping
thing
some wood.
is so the thing is with logging, typically, like back in the day, they didn't have trucks to carry logs like we do now. So what they would do is they would chop down the trees and throw them in a river and let the river carry the logs down the river.
Oh yeah.
And then pull them out and process them and such. Well, Paul and his boys were chopping down trees down the Wisconsin River, and the logs jammed the dells. They jammed the river. And so these logs started piling up to 200 feet high and were backed up by an entire mile, right? So Paul is sitting at the back of the jam with his ox, and he's just like, what's going on? Why are the logs piling up? And all of his crewmen are sitting there just like, Paul, what the hell, dude? We can't do this. It's too
Get your big ass
tall."
in there.
So Paul's just like, hold on, I got this. So he tells Babe to get into the river in front of all the logs that are damming up everything. And he goes and he grabs his rifle and he shoots his ox with a 303 Savage rifle. Now, the ox thought that it was flying and began to spin its tail. The tail proceeded to go round and round in a circle so fast that it forced the stream to go backwards.
But why would he do that to the cow? What did the cow do? What did the ox do? Wait.
It didn't hurt the cow at all.
Okay,
Just like he's flying.
I'm like having an anxiety attack. I'm like upset. I'm crying right now. Like, what is wrong with you? Okay, carry on.
because like the cow thought it was like a horse fly or something, so it's just like ooh ew, and starts like wagging its tail to, like get the fly away,
Right.
which causes the river to start going backwards up the stream, and the logs
Okay, see.
start getting fixed, and so he ends up grabbing his ox and pulls it out of the stream, and he lets the logs go down. Now, that's one fun story. Here's another one for you. So, Paul typically worked with a lot of loggers, and back in the day, loggers didn't really have because unions weren't really a thing yet, and sometimes if you couldn't pay people, you just couldn't pay people, so on and so forth.
Right.
Well, Paul had hired a giant group of people to help him like take down an entire forest, and they took down like 200 acres of forest, right? Now, Paul ends up sitting there and going, I don't have enough money to pay these guys.
Oh no. He said, oh shit.
And so instead of going and selling more logs to get enough money, he decides to run into the camp screaming, saying, "We cut down government trees, we're all about to get arrested, everybody run!" Each man and in a different direction, and that's how he got away without paying them.
Oh, that sneaky giant.
That is rude. I feel like he has inspired quite a few
naughty
people and the way they treat people right now. So kind of like
naughty Paul.
Dwight Schrute from The Office, where he hires people and they're like, we don't go with that man. Every time someone goes with him, they never come back.
Oh no.
So, oh my goodness. So then, right?
Yeah.
Here's another fun story. I don't know how long we've been going on. You can stop me whenever.
You're fine. You can tell us one more story.
Okay, one more story. So, Paul, gigantic man, big enough to dig big enough to accidentally make the Grand Canyon, right?
Yeah. Right. That's he was big. Well, I did not know he was that big. I knew he was a giant. I did not know he was
big boy.
That big of a giant. Like, oh damn. Okay.
Very big.
Big giant. Big giant boy.
Big giant boy needs to eat. Because he's a boy. He needs to eat. Men need to eat.
He's growing.
So, in order to feed him, they decide, well, a big man needs a big griddle. And we only have a small cook. So the cook goes and hires like 200 Japanese men to tie ham to the bottom of their feet to skate around on the top of the griddle.
Oh.
So that way they can grease the griddle up for eggs.
Oh. That's kind of cute.
And so these 200 men are greasing this griddle.
Oh.
And this cook is mixing up 200 eggs to scramble. And what ends up happening is that a few days in, the cook accidentally mixes up his two powders.
Oh no.
See, ground pepper looks a lot like blasting powder.
Uh-oh.
And so the cook accidentally put blasting powder in the eggs.
Oh my goodness.
When the cook went to pour the eggs onto the griddle, well, there went the griddle and there went the cook too.
Oh.
Big bada boom.
Oh. Baga boom. Big bada
boom.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Did he survived, right? He's fine.
No one knows.
No. No. He went to the stratosphere.
There's a lot of different stories about Paul Bunyan. There's one where he fought like an Indian god and lost. There's one where he got his quickest guy to go grab these giant bees because there were giant mosquitoes eating people, and the bees and the mosquitoes ended up fighting a war and then eventually interbreeding, which made a monster that was
okay. All right,
because it had stingers on both ends. And Paul just kind of left because he was like, well, I'm done with my job. Bye.
Enjoy your monstrosities.
Oh, yeah. My gosh. That's
He said, "Oh,
funny.
that's terrible.
was-
Bye."
So are there like storybooks, like, because are they kids' stories of Paul Bunyan, or
Yes.
Oh, I guarantee
oh,
it.
so
Oh
he's like,
yeah,
and so
especially with the ox.
so he's a kid's story. Like this is
Well,
like,
no. So originally he was an adult
He's
story.
he's folklore.
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, he was folklore. He used to be told by men sitting around a campfire like us. Like we're women, but of course, like us sitting
Fabulous.
around the campfire, spitting a yarn,
excuse me.
chit chatting left and right. Well, like us, men would sit around a fire back in the day and they would talk about Paul Bunyan. Mind you, not only would they talk about Paul Bunyan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they talked about Paul Bunyan through like oral tradition all the way up in
Right.
Canada, and it was mostly along like the northern border where logging most frequently happened. Now, Paul's stories did get put into books. There are 6 books written by 6 different authors. That all have stories about Paul Bunyan. There's Lockhead,
Okay.
there's Stewart and Watt, there's Harrigan, McGilvery, Rockwell, and Duluth News. All of these have different stories about Paul Bunyan. However, around I want to say 1916, the original story of the Legend of Paul Bunyan the Lumberjack was published in Transactions of the Wisconsin Academy of Sciences, Arts, and Letters, and co-authored by English professor Homer A. Watt
Okay.
Oh,
and K.
So it's even like an
Bernice
officially,
Stewart.
yeah. That's
So
cool.
it's an officially written paper that you can go and find and read.
how have I
love
never
that.
heard about? Oh, how have I never heard about Paul Bunyan before? Like, I've heard of him, but I've never like looked up the stories about him. For some reason, I thought he was like a horror
Well,
story.
also like, I mean,
But I
that's
don't
not like
know.
super surprising necessarily, just because I feel like it's probably something that wasn't as popular when we were younger as it was beforehand, right?
Yeah,
Like I've heard
Yeah.
of Paul Bunyan and I knew about his ox, but I didn't really know much about him, so that's really cool to
I
learn.
know. I knew nothing about him. So
I didn't know he was that big either. I knew he was supposed to be like a big man,
I
but
was shooketh when you told me how big he was. I was like,
is the
oh,
brawny guy based off of him?
that's what I thought. But no, is he?
Well,
'Cause he seems like a giant.
The brawny guy is based off of loggers. Loggers are based
Oh,
off
okay.
of loggers typically wore red flannel because it was easier to find their bodies after a tree fell on them if they're wearing
Oh,
red.
Jesus.
Oh, well,
Also because
that
flannel was
escalated
very
quickly.
warm,
Oh.
especially in the winter.
Yeah. That makes
And so
sense.
Paul Bunyan, who is this giant man who wears a giant red flannel, is kind of like a very symbolic thing. And the thing is, so around I want to say around 1904 is when they started using him to like sell things.
Okay.
And so a lot of stuff. So in 1916, the campaign for the Red River Lumber Company launched Paul Bunyan, and started like selling the story, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then throughout most of the 20th century, his name and image basically was used in like products, cities, services, different like a bunch of different stuff had Paul Bunyan in them. And then in 2014, there was a paved biking trail that bears the name Paul Bunyan Trail and spans 120 miles in Minnesota. There's also the Bemidji Blue Ox Marathon, which started in 2013, that runs along the Paul Bunyan State Trail and Lake Bemidji and past Paul Bunyan and the Babe the Blue Ox statues, which are near the Tree of Mystery in Klamath, California.
So his ox, which
Oh.
I gotta say, the ox is my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. He's I like him
Babe
more than
is I
Paul.
love her. She's my favorite.
I love that her name is Babe.
Was she supposed to be giant as well,
Yes,
or like
she
normal
was a
ox size?
giant
Giant,
ox.
right? Okay,
She was a giant ox to match him. Babe
Nice.
the
that's
Big
awesome.
Blue Ox actually has a band named after her too.
That does
Of
not
course.
surprise me.
Love that.
That does not surprise
Um,
me.
Deserving.
She's
Yeah.
a rock star, man.
I love her so much.
We
Me
stand babe
too.
here.
We stand babe here.
We stand, babe.
We're
Babe
babe
is the
fans.
best.
We're babe fans here. I didn't know about you before, but I am a fan. You won me
And
So
over,
you got 3
babe.
new fans today.
Right?
and one last fun fact for you guys.
Yeah.
The idea of his last name Bunyan actually comes from the French Canadian version for the expression bonyen, which is surprise or astonishment. So the idea is
Interesting.
that somebody saw Paul and was like, "Oh, there's Paul Bunyan," and that's his last name.
That's funny.
Well, they were so shocked by how fucking huge he was.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I was also shocked by how big he was after Birdie.
Yeah, I did not
was-
I knew he was a giant, but I didn't realize they meant
know
like a
he was that
fucking
big. I
giant.
seriously thought like 10 to 20 feet is acceptable, but that 90
Right?
feet, that is ooh,
That's
my
fucking craziness.
goodness.
Big enough. I had no idea about the Grand Canyon stuff either, like at all. That's really cool little mythos.
I like that too.
Exactly.
That was a lot of fun. I've never.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I like that. That was a fun topic for tonight's spooky slumber party. I appreciate you,
Especially
coming
here in the
and-
woods.
Yeah, coming in and deciding to like take a turn at the fire pit and tell us some cute little stories because that was absolutely fantastic. I am a big fan and I really like it. So
Yeah.
good job, good job, good job.
Birdie. Good job. I say we stand babe.
Mhm.
She is our new ghoulie mascot. I
Well,
love
yeah,
me a big blue
I kind
ox.
of want to make like a blue ox, you know? I kind of want to make a blue ox.
Do it.
Yeah, part of me kind of wants to make a blue ox pixel art. It's been a bit since I've made, aside from the flyers I've been working on, I haven't made any new cryptids or any new like actual frickin' pixel art in a while. Aside from the flyers I have.
I mean, honestly, I think it counts as not necessarily a cryptid, but it's a mythos. So you know what? I'm in full support of this.
Yeah, I think
Fun
I made.
fact.
What's
Most
up?
people would probably know him from Walt Disney's videos because Walt Disney Studios did an animated short about Paul Bunyan versus a steam-powered mechanical saw, and he was also in multiple Disney films.
Oh, I love that.
That's cute. Oh my goodness.
Of course he would.
All right, let's go ahead and end the night. Birdie, you know what we gotta do here.
Yep.
We're gonna do our little outro, and you already know the part that you're gonna be doing. So, are you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Crack the
Yeah.
necks. Okay, here we go. Are you ready?
Oh,
Ready?
yeah.
We'll stay thick.
And
You stay spooky.